there, Nancy. So good to be here.
I know. Good to see you too. We're here to talk about ballroom dancing for a better you, and tell us about your involvement with the charity.
My involvement. Well, I sort of was Gene's sidekick. When he would go to the ARC facility, the young adults with disabilities, and I would just be there to help, to draw people in, draw the young folks in, and just enjoy with them, because they were delighted to do it.
So did you actually teach them a little bit too?
Oh, yes, I did. As actually, when Gene injured his knee, I worked with them in the summer. Sometimes in the summer they have a summer camp. There were like 40 people in the circle. It was like, I had to pull out my teacher thing. 1, 2, 3, all eyes on me at the top of my lungs. Yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So how are the kids? You've spoken to them.
Oh, they're wonderful.
And how do they feel about dancing and ballroom dancing for a better you?
Oh my God, they loved it. And my little CJ, I had my little guy. When he walked in, he had to come over and get a big hug. They just loved it, and they loved Gene. You know, it was everybody got hugs when they came in. You know, which isn't going to happen.
Yeah,
so much
no hugs now, but eventually.
And then when we would go to the assisted care living places, I was Gene's sidekick. We kind of play off of each other, and we dance for them, and then we pull them up and dance with them. And
were they receptive?
Oh my gosh, yes.
They enjoyed it?
Yeah.
So
sometimes it's according, the facility, we noticed that it was, if the people who were running the facility were enthusiastic about what we were doing.
Right.
The people who were there were enthusiastic. If there was kind of not so much enthusiasm, it was, sometimes we had to really work to draw the people out.
But once they were out, they loved it, right?
Oh my God, yes. Yes. You know, I mean, in the very first interview I ever did for Ballroom Dancing for a Better You, the one man said, we should do this every week. You know, we were going there once a month, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, and Gene and I just really worked really well off of each other. His humor, and sometimes he would be talking about, you know, the Latin and the trees flowing and swinging, and I would be like, you didn't know it. I'm going.
You're swaying with the trees.
I'm doing the tree swaying, and people are laughing, and he's like, what was that?
That's great. So where do you see the charity going in the future?
I am astounded at the work that Gene has done with the people who are working privately with him. I am not sure where it's going to go with groups of people.
Where would you like to see it go? I mean, what do you like best about the charity? Obviously, it brings joy to a lot of people, like you said, and you
brings
enjoy
joy to me too. No, I really loved working with the people and getting to know them. You know, when we went to Woodbury to the Muse, I got to know them. I actually taught there a lot. And I really got to know the people, and getting to know a little bit about their stories, and sometimes even if you didn't want to know about their stories, they were telling you everything, you know. But it was lovely when there was a woman at Rose Tree who would always come up afterwards and say, oh, my husband and I used to go dancing in New York City all the time, and this just reminds me of that. It would be lovely if at some point we could get back to doing that.
I was just going to say, are you planning on going back after all this COVID is done? Do you want to continue working with the charity?
Oh, I would love to. It gave my life a lot more meaning. I mean, you know, I knew as a retired art teacher, I wanted to do something, but I always wanted to do something that was connected to my heart. And that was this.
See, it was a perfect fit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure I could see that you miss it, and I know that it'll be back. You know, I'm sure they miss it too. But thank you so much for talking with us today, Ray. Any other words? Anything else you'd like to add?
Just dance on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's delightful.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, Nancy. How are you?
Good. So we're here to talk about ballroom dancing for a better you. And I know that you have a personal interest in this charity. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this charity is very, very important to me. My daughter, Shauna, is a member of Ballroom Dancing for a Better You for the past few years. It's really added and contributed so much to her life. When we found out about Ballroom Dancing for a Better You, she was in a real transitional stage in her life and didn't really know which end was up, and she was not in a good headspace. And Jean told us about Ballroom Dancing for a Better You and got her involved, and it was a game changer for her. She met friends and she's been dancing ever since. And even with the pandemic, it's the only constant that she's had this past 10 months. And she just looks so much forward to every Thursday when she goes to Glassboro and takes her lessons with Jason.
Oh, that's so great. And you do ballroom dancing as well, right?
I do. I have for about 5 years, 3 with LaPierre.
Yeah. And you won titles and everything. I mean, I know you're a good dancer. I've seen you dance. So
Oh, thank
I know
you.
with COVID, there's not a lot going on, but it's good that you also do it. And you also raised a lot of money for Ballroom Dancing for Better You over Facebook, haven't you?
I have close to $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
Tell us about
since March. When March happened and everything closed down, one of my first thoughts was, what about the charity? How is the charity going to be able to do any fundraising at all? And the end of March, I started my first Facebook fundraiser and just pushed it and showed videos of Shauna dancing and the commercials that were on TV, and probably raised about $700 with that fundraiser. And then I did one for my birthday at the end of May and raised close to another 300 for that, because I told Jean that I would do anything that I could to keep this organization, nonprofit, going when they can't do the big benefit and the big events that raise money throughout the course of the year.
Oh, that's so wonderful. You're such a little angel to the charity. What's your favorite part about the charity? What do you like the best about it? I mean,
the outreach to the community, the special needs, the elderly, people in wheelchairs, they're so isolated. And the fact that this charity gives them an outlet that's fun, that gets them moving, that gets them, I mean, with autism, even being in a close proximity of space with another person, it's a big deal. And that comfort level, like when Shauna did her dance at the virtual showcase a few months ago, that was the best I've ever seen her dance. And I literally was like crying in my living room watching this thing.
That's so great. Well, we thank you so much for all that you've done for the charity. You truly are an angel. And we look forward to seeing you dancing soon as well. Take care, and thanks for talking with us.
You bet. You too.